Alright, so you're buying yourself computer parts either for a new PC or you're upgrading your PC and you're getting yourself RAM. And so you're scrolling through and let's say you're looking at RAM that goes to speeds of 3200 megahertz per second and you see the four numbers following it and you go, okay, well, the lower the better, but what do those four numbers really mean? Well, as probably a lot of you know, they are your timings. So that's it, video over. Wait. Okay, so they're your timings, but what are these timings for? Well, in all fairness, RAM timings are latency. You can have really fast RAM, but low latency. There's a few ways that it can be described. One way is with internet. You've got internet speeds and you've got latency on the internet too. You can have the fastest internet speeds in your street, but because the server that you're trying to get to for either the website or the game that you're trying to play is really far away, that speed may not mean anything in comparison to a server closer by. So RAM is similar. And maybe a better way of describing latency is through running races actually. So you've got your 100-meter sprints and they go so fast. And you can have the exact same racer compete in the 200-meter sprints and he can run at the same pace the whole way through and everything. But because the distance is longer, it takes longer to get from point A to point B. So yes, RAM timings is latency. They are how quickly the data on the RAM can be accessed and how long the data is on the RAM for. So the first number is for CAS latency. So basically the CAS latency is the RAM responding to your PC's request for data. It's device in flight response for RAM. Something happens and the RAM goes, what do I need to do? So it's how long does it take to go, okay, I need to get to work. The next number is for TRCP. And what TRCP does is it's the timing for how long it goes from the row, since RAM is formulated into grids. So you got rows and columns. So I'll go through the row to find the column that the data is at. Then we have TRP. And TRP is how long the RAM takes to go from one row to the next row. The last number is TRAS. And what TRAS is how long the RAM stays on that row for, how long it keeps that row open, so that it can make sure that all the data is read correctly. So basically TRAS is like if you were to read a book. You can flick through each page like once a second, basically. You can go from page to page, flip over, page to page, flip over, page to page. But how much information on each page is going to get through to you is going to be pretty small. You haven't read it properly. But if you take a minute to read the page, well, you're going to take in a lot more information. So that's what TRAS is. It's why it's the biggest number. It's because the RAM needs to make sure that it's reading the data properly. It helps make your computer function better. So we've gone through what each of the numbers are for, what the timings are for each number. But then why do they give it a number? Like why not just go good CAS or best CAS or crappy CAS? The numbers are cycles. So how many cycles does it take for that process to go? So for example, let's say that your RAM's timings are 16, 18, 18, and 36. So it'll take 16 cycles to go through the CAS, then another 18 to go for the TRCP, plus an extra 18 to go through the TRP, and then a final 36 to go for the TRAS. And that's on a best case scenario. Like there might be multiple 18s if the RAM has to go through multiple rows. So now back to the running race analogy. The firing pistol goes. The time it takes for you to hear that sound and your brain to go, ooh, I need to make an action, is your CAS latency. Then the amount of time it takes for your brain to go from your CAS to your leg is, or a leg is moving, you're pushing off and whatnot, or your mid-run, you're one stride to another, or one stride actually, that's your TRCP. And then your brain to go from, okay, well I need to move one leg, and now I need to move the other leg, is your TRP. About how long it takes you to run the race is your TRAS. So generally speaking, bigger megahertz is better, but 3200 megahertz as example again, if you're comparing one set of RAM to the other, and performance is key for you, look for a set of RAM with smaller timings. The lower the number, the better. Also, don't forget, in the BIOS, you can adjust the RAM timings yourself to make them tighter, and so that your system runs that small bit faster. So yes, that's all I have for you today. Don't really have a question on the topic on the video this time around, but I know this is a different content piece for me. So what I want to know is, did you enjoy this video? Like, type it in the comments, like, what could I have done better? Was this good? Would you like to see more content like this from me? That'll be helpful. So there's my question. But anyway, again, that's all I have. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, click that subscribe button down below. Make sure that bell notification's turned on, but mainly that subscribe one. Also, hit that like button as well. That'll be awesome. Have a good day, nice week, whatever. Be happy in life and benchmark hard. See ya.